All right, greetings. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm talking into this mic, but I don't know if the mic really is picking up my voice, but I think it is because the way my voice is sounding. So it's been a long time since I came on here, you guys, and spoke or talked to you. I've been putting little things here and there, but I had so much going on in my life. Excuse me if I'm looking at me and not the camera. I've had so much going on in my life that I had to take a serious hiatus from making videos, okay? So one of the things that's been coming to me, as much as I've put this on the back burner, it just keeps coming up. And that's the topic about reptilians, greys, extraterrestrial beings, and all this other stuff. What does it have to do with us, and why are they here? And what does it have to do with me, to be honest? So I have been doing a lot of studying for the past 15, 16 years, 17 years, honestly. And I've just learned a lot of different things. I have pondered on a lot of different subjects. So just bear with me as I begin to unfold all the things that I am learning so that I can share them with you, and the things that I have already learned, and everything is making sense to me today. We're living in a different time. We are entering into the age of Aquarius. We are leaving the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces was the age of deception. You know what I mean? Everything was swept under the rug, kept under the water. It was moved all around, so it would be very confusing. And forgive my setup, you guys. This is just something quick. You know, it was coming to my mind to share, so I threw a little background in there, boom, and I'm sharing. It's gonna get better with time. So, I forgot what I was saying, but anyhow, so the age of Pisces was the age of deception, okay, where everything was hidden from you. Now we're into the age of Aquarius, where everything is being uncovered. We're in the age of truth. We're in the age of knowing. We're in the age of wisdom. We're in the age of keeping it real. We're in the age of blunt, okay, and straightforward, straight shooting. Don't give a damn about how you feel about it. That's my type of era, because that's the type of person that I am. I'm not an Aquarius, and I'm still studying my natal chart so that I can find out how does Aquarius fit into my life. But I'm a straight shooter. You know what I mean? I'm all about the truth, no BS, none of that. So I'm going to share with you guys what I've learned. So I was doing a little bit of digging and researching, you know, and it just came to me to look up reptilians and what are they doing here, right? So for a lot of you guys that are still into the Bible, you are Christians or whatever the case may be, there's some scriptures that speak about the reptilians. And preferably we want to start with Revelations 12. I don't know why I didn't have this written down, but anyway, Revelations 12, and we're going to start with verse 3. Okay? And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Now, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, you know, because I'm still learning, the great red dragon is the old time serpent that is spoke of, okay? All right? And the 7 heads to me would be like the 7 kingdoms, you know, that its main source of ruling from, and I could be wrong, is, and the 10 horns, maybe it's a beast that have 10 horns, or maybe it's a group of beasts and it's 10 different factions of that beast, okay? And 7 crowns upon his head, which is 7 kingdoms. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to earth. Okay, so it's doing its dirty work here on the plane of existence that we call 3rd dimension, that we call earth. All right. And the dragon before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, in my opinion, in my studies, and in the wisdom that I have, the woman is Lucifer. Okay? Don't get mad. Don't shoot the messenger. This is just what it is. So the woman is Lucifer. That's why Lucifer is rarely spoken about, because Lucifer is feminine energy. Okay? And they have impostered her. They have taken over her identity to make you think it's a male, Lucy and all this, you know what I mean, what ties into their sick, demonic little scheme plan. All right. So in my opinion, and from my studies, okay, and research, somehow, okay, I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit. This whole plane of existence, that third dimension, we call it, Earth, it was a woman's planet. It was nothing but female. That's why everything is feminine, okay? Mother Earth. It was a feminine planet. And somehow women got hijacked, okay, by males from another dimension, all right, from another plane of existence, and we were artificially inseminated, for lack of better terms, with male children. So with that being said, that's how we got that seed, the man, the child that they're talking about. Okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Don't get mad at me. Do your research. Before you say, I don't know what I'm talking about, or it's blasphemy, or whatever the case may be, do your due diligent research. Study to show thyself approved. Not for nobody else, but for you. So that when these kind of things show up, you will be able to counteract a conversation. All right? And then it says, she brought forth a man-child, which I just got finished talking about, who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God into his throne. But then you have to ask questions. Who is this God? Okay. Who is this God? Because this God that is described in the Bible, okay, I was under the spell too at one time. This God is a cruel, vile, disturbed, selfish, self-centered, egotistical God. Okay? Which the God that is spoken about is really Satan. Satan, Lord of Eden. You know what I mean? Enlil, for a lack of better terms. He's had many names throughout time. Okay? Anyway. And the woman fled. Now we in verse 6. We're still in Revelations 12. Now we're going down to verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, which was really the goddess, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. But they say in 3.5 years. But if you ask me, I'm gonna go with 3,000 years or a little longer. Okay, it could be 33,000 years. I don't know. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought, verse 7 now. There was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Okay. Who's Michael? Who is Michael? Now, if you ever watched the series Lucifer, it's on Netflix now. I forgot where it started at, but it goes into detail excuse me, about the story. Of course, they're gonna put the little razzle dazzle in there so you can be entertained. Okay, because if they came with the flat out truth, you would not believe it. You wouldn't watch it. But go watch. I watched all the seasons. Okay, so go watch it. You know what I mean? It talks about these different things. All right. Now, verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. So basically, there is no more heaven for these creatures, okay? Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out. All right. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. See, you got to look at this with a fine-tooth comb. And why would they say the devil and Satan? So why is it and? Because they make you think Satan and the devil and Lucifer is all the same being when it's three different entities. Satan, okay, the Lord of Eden, all right, he is the one that is orchestrating a lot of the mess. All right, the devil, that is his creation to counteract against the feminine. Say what you want to say, that's just what it is. The devil is man and mankind. Don't be mad at the messenger. All right. And Lucifer. Lucifer is the feminine energy. Lucifer is the creatress of this plane of the dome. Okay. That has many different planes of existence up under it. This is a big old science project. That's why I say we experience life. God is experiencing life through the human beings. But God is not just experiencing life through human beings. God is experiencing life through all the forms of creation that it has created on this plane of existence. Because you have a male side to you and you have a female side to you. That was how they was even able to create man and in turn mankind in the first place. Because you have both sides. You have male and you have female. That's just how it is. I can't really explain everything right now, but that's just how it is. Okay? Alright? So, and Satan, we still in verse 9, which deceiveth the whole world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now, I could sit up here and read a whole bunch, but I'm going to skip over, okay? I'm going to go to verse 14, where it talks about, well, I'm going to go to 13 and 14, okay? And when we're still in the Revelations 12, okay, we're on 13 and 14. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. It didn't say female child. It said the man-child, okay? And to the woman, Lucifer, which were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she belongs, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half of a time from the face of the serpent. Reptilians. Alright. Now, there is many stories that you can go and see what really went down. You have the Epic of Gilgamesh. Okay, you have the Enuma Elish. You have the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson. I have another Emerald Tablets book myself. Before I even knew this, I bought this years ago. But I'm getting ready to buy Billy Carson's book off his Amazon store because I have heard that it is a really good book. But you can also find the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. And this is what the book looks like. Okay, so you can read the Emerald Tablets. Like I said, the Enuma Elish. It's something else that I'm... Okay, but the Terror Papers by Robert Morningstar. I downloaded them years ago off the internet. So what you can do is go into these stories and they talk about the history of this place and how things went down. They leave out a lot of stuff about who was here first. They want to tell you hominids and all this other jive, but they don't want to tell you the truth. Excuse me. So, it's another lady on here. I can't think of her name right now. But if I come across it, I will put it in the description or make another video about it. It almost sounds like she's a black woman from the name, but it's a Caucasian woman. I've never heard of a Caucasian woman by this name before. But nonetheless, she talks about how, you know, they was cast down here to earth. And it's not exactly the story that the Bible gives you. Okay? It's a lot more in depth. It tells you what they did. It was a consequence of bad decisions that they and another group of beings made. So therefore, they destroyed their way back to the heavens. Okay? Which worked out perfect to a certain degree, but look what we're going through today. Also, the movie Star Wars. What you think? They just made that up? You think George Lucas just made that up off the skim of his head? No. The movie Star Wars, the movies Star Wars, the different ones, talks about this as well. You know, so if you heard that, it's our dog forgiving me. But it goes into detail about these particular things. And like I said, we in the age of enlightenment. So there's no reason for anyone to be ignorant of anything, because we have the knowledge now. It's all out here for you to know. All right. And I'm going to scoot over to Revelation chapter 13. All right. And I'm going to read you a little bit. I'm not about to go into detail, but let's start with verse 1. No. Okay. Verse 2. Revelation chapter 13. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon, okay, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So Satan gave man a seat of authority here. All right. And I saw, we're in verse 3, I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, mankind. All right. Let's see. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. All right. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not what you think it is. Because the thing about it is, this beast is mankind. Think about it. Think about what it's telling you. Okay? And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Okay? The serpent did this. Okay? Gave him the power. And to overcome them. Who has overcome another people here? Haven't mankind overcome the indigenous people here? Just like man overcame the indigenous feminine here? And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Who does that sound like? The beast. Who is the beast? Kind of. And we in verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. Who is the Lamb? The womb men, the feminine. And verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Hey, didn't men lead women into captivity? All right, by way of the serpent, Satan. And let's go here. Didn't mankind lead man into captivity? You reap what you sow. That's why I don't feel sorry for man. You reap what you sow. You did this first, so it will be measured unto you. And I behold another beast, coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven onto earth in the sight of men. Who does things that seem like, oh my God, they're going up to the moon, they're sending a rocket up into space? Who's doing that? Mankind, by way of Satan, the serpent. Verse 14, my bad. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Okay. Saying to them, he had power to do in sight of Satan. Okay. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. Image to the beast. Sounds like Jesus Christ to me. Not Christ consciousness. That's not what I'm talking about. The Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see where we at. All right. Verse 16. And he causeth all, both, we're still in Revelations, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What do you think that mark is? You think it's this chip they talking about? Not necessarily. What if they've already been putting it in us and we did not know? Okay. What if that happens at birth? What if the prenatal vitamins that you taking has something we didn't know? But what if this mark was how can I say this? The word I'm looking for. What if they did something to your DNA? All right. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Which it could tie in today because they're doing some different stuff with finances. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding, and this is verse 18. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neurons. That sounds like man that created mankind. And I'm going to stop there. Okay? The thing about it is we need to learn how to research and study. Nobody can fool you if you do your research. Stop believing in fairy tales. We too old to think somebody's going to come save us. How long would a so-called God really make you? I mean, what kind of God is this that would make you wait thousands upon thousands of years? What kind of God would make you go through all this just to come and save you when it could have prevented it? He could have prevented it in the first place. Sound like some bullshit to me. Sound like a manipulator, a narcissist to me. Because you'd be mad. Think about this. You'll be mad at your parents if they let you suffer and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and save you, sweetie. Come on now. You wouldn't be mad at your parents. You would resent them for that. But you don't resent this so-called God? I don't understand that. That doesn't compute to me. That doesn't make any sense. You'll forgive that selfish thing, but you won't forgive your parents. And a lot of y'all Gen Zs is coming down so hard on your parents and your grandparents, and y'all so disrespectful to elders. A lot of y'all, I'm talking to all the generations right now, y'all will be mad at your mama, your brother, your sister, your father, your cousin, your uncle, your grandma, your friend, your children, but you'll forgive this selfish, self-centered individual. That's your God and your devil. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up and pay attention. Because they've been doing this to you for a long time. Y'all need to grow up, man. Grow up. Grow up. Expand your mind. Why do you think Joyce Myers used to tell you the battlefield is in your mind? Because it is. This is how they control you. Through fear, insecurity, lack. And they give you things to pacify you, so you won't even question none of this. But I'm going to ease up. Enough for now. I'm going to let it go for now. But you need to pay attention to what's before you, because warning comes before destruction. Warning comes before destruction, my people. Why do you think God hated the goddess in the Bible? The things that he did to people who worship the goddess in the Bible, like, why do you have so much hatred for the goddess? And then a lot of y'all who's supposed to be Christians, y'all don't even study the Bible, because y'all always talking about somebody got a Jezebel spirit. Well, Jezebel was doing right by her man, unlike some of y'all pick-me's. And he wasn't listening, so she took matters in her own hands. But you call certain women Jezebel spirits. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just superstitious. You're not into the book that you claim you live by. Most of y'all only know scripture here and the scripture there because that pastor, that preacher, that apostle, that bishop, that is a charlatan and a deceiver, is giving you on Sunday or Bible study or whatever, the church conferences that you go to, and etc., etc., etc. Wake what is known as the uck up. If your feelings is hurt, you know what you can do? If you're mad at me, you know what you can do? You can go to Home Depot, you can get a ladder, and you can get the fuck over it, because I'm not here for your fucking feelings. I'm here for the truth. Why this is called the bitter truth. I'm going to see y'all on my next. Be at peace with yourself so that you may be at peace with others. Love yourself so that you will love others as you love yourself. Or, wow, didn't they try to tell y'all that too? But y'all don't listen. Seek first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. Didn't say seek nothing else. Seek the kingdom. You are the kingdom. With that, I'm out of here. Later. See you on my next. See you.